Hello everyone, welcome. This is Palestella back with another video. I really don't know why I said welcome back to another video, considering this is the first video on my channel and also the first video that I have filmed for YouTube. So yeah, but welcome to my channel, guys. In this video, we will be talking about the differences between living and working in the US versus Scandinavia, or Denmark more specifically. What really inspired this video was this article that I saw by The Independent called "People are comparing working in the US and Denmark. The new American dream is to leave America." Very dramatic. And so I thought this would be really relevant to talk about, given the whole FIRE, retire early community, and this trend going around about people sharing that they don't dream of labor. Just because I would say overall Denmark has a much greater focus on having a healthy work-life experience than the US does, but it definitely comes at a price. My own background is that I was born and raised in Denmark. I'm a Danish citizen, and then I moved to the US to finish my education, and then I also worked in the US for around 1.5 years. As an investment analyst, and then recently, some months ago, I moved back to Denmark, and now I work full-time in Denmark as a financial analyst. And so I have a little bit of insight into how things work in both countries, both from my own personal experience, but also from just talking to my friends and other people. And so I thought that would be fun to go over some of the main differences that I have noticed between work life in the two countries. And so the first difference that I would like to highlight is the number of hours that you usually work a week. And so in the US, I would say that's traditionally considered to be 40 hours. However, there's a lot of jobs in the US where you work significantly more than 40 hours a week. And in Denmark, the typical work week is considered to be just 37.5 hours a week. And sure, there are definitely jobs where you work quite a bit more than that, but not at all to the same extent that you see in the US. Especially when you consider industries like finance and medicine that traditionally have longer work hours than average. You will still find way shorter work weeks for those industries in Denmark than you would in the US. The second difference that I would want to highlight is the time off that you have in the US versus Denmark. In the US, my impression is that it's generally around 10 days PTO a year. For some, it's less, but obviously there are places where you will have more. In Denmark, on the other hand, it is a lot more. So in Denmark, you have 5 weeks. 5 weeks, guys. Those 5 weeks are written into law. Every employer is literally required to give their employees 5 weeks of paid vacation a year. That's a lot. And so obviously that's a huge benefit because it lets you take time off work, you know, de-stress, maybe travel some, you know, whatever you want to do and still get paid at the same time. I think that can really help with your work-life balance. Oh, what's that? Am I interrupting something? Oh, you know, it's just because I wanted to ask you to please like and subscribe if you are enjoying the video. I appreciate it so much. Let's get back to it. The third difference that I would want to highlight is taxes. There's a huge difference there. In the US, obviously it depends on where you live, what state and so on, also what income level you are, but I think most people are paying taxes that are in the 20%. Whereas in Denmark, it is a lot more common to pay close to 50% of your income in taxes. 50% is a lot. Literally, for every dollar you make, 50 cents of that, you will never see. That hurts. But I mean, obviously, you are paying those extra taxes for a reason. You get a lot more vacation. And also, this brings me to our next point, would be that education and healthcare is free in Denmark. In the US, obviously, a lot of employers do provide healthcare insurance for free for their employees, but still, you kind of always end up paying something because there are a bunch of co-pays and like, oh, then your insurance can cover like this specific thing or something. But in Denmark, all of that is literally free. You know, whether you need, you know, a normal doctor's appointment or if you need an ambulance, you just call the health line and they will send you an ambulance for free. So that is a huge benefit because you just don't have to worry about medical expenses being a drag on you financially. Another big plus is that education is free in Denmark. or more specifically, college, everything, university, it's all free. And it certainly isn't in the US, you know, like in the US, like every year of college can easily cost, you know, like $60,000 in tuition. Like it is insane. Whereas in Denmark, it's literally $0. And not just that, the state will literally pay you to study in Denmark. And so when I was in university here in Denmark, I think I got paid around $800 after taxes from the state just because I was enrolled in college. Like, it's so absurd when you consider how expensive that is in the US, and so that is one of the big reasons why people have to pay so much more in taxes in Denmark. Obviously, if you're already done with your education, that's not going to help you a lot, but you know, if you do plan on raising a family, it can certainly be a big relief that you don't need to think about creating a college fund for your kids, because all of that will be free. And then the final difference that I would want to highlight is the work culture difference between Denmark and the US. And so there's a lot of smaller nuances that differ between the countries, and I would love to make another video about that. But I think one of the big ones would be in the US, when someone is successful or achieves something big that they've been working towards, they're usually proud of sharing that, and people will celebrate them for it and be inspired by it. Whereas in Denmark, you don't really want to talk too much about your accomplishments, because it's usually considered to be in poor taste. And it goes back to something called the jantelov, which is a concept that's definitely more prevalent in the older generations, but also in the younger generations a little bit still. And what jantelov really means is that don't think that you're better than anyone else, and don't think that you are anything to begin with. And so if you're in Denmark, I would say keep all your amazing accomplishments to yourself a bit more, because people will just consider you to be bragging. Whereas in the US, I feel like people are better at celebrating each other for their accomplishments and encouraging each other to, you know, be greater and work towards whatever they want to achieve. You know, being ambitious is considered to be a very good trait, I would say, in the US. So I think that's another stark difference. And overall, I would say it's really hard to say which place is best when it comes to living and working in. It really depends on your own personal preferences, what your other priorities in life are. And so that was my 2 cents on that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. I have linked some sources down below if you're interested in reading more about this topic. And if you would like me to make more videos about Denmark or talking about Denmark versus the US, please comment down below. I would love getting suggestions from you. And other than that, see you next week. Bye!